Now settle down, please, bit of order. Yes, thank you. Now, hello, this is Boris speaking. I'd just like to welcome you to this inaugural event of the first, I think that's what you'll find inaugural means, the first RTS Nations and Regions quiz. Now, television itself is a coming together of two great things, like the nations and the regions of the RTS. Coming from ancient Greek, tele meaning far, and Latin visio meaning sight. It shouldn't have worked, but it does. Yes. Like my first time hosting Have I Got News For You, it shouldn't have happened, but it did. And the rest is history, or as I like to say, in the past, or in praeteritum, as the Latin quiz teams would have said. Now, settle back, at the appropriate distances, of course. That's very important. And enjoy the quiz. Castigat, Redendo, Mores. Boris, over and out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the RTS Nations and Regions Quiz. 5 nations and regions, 30 questions, 50 points, and lots of fun. It all starts now. Please welcome your host, Darren Altman. Questions, 50 points, and lots of fun. It all starts now. Please welcome your host, Darren Altman.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Darren Altman, and welcome to the RTS Nations and Regions Quiz. I can hear music. What's going on here? Hold on.
Please welcome your...
Do I carry on?
Altman.
Hello, I'm Darren Altman, and welcome to the RTS Nations and Regions Quiz. I'm hearing myself back, so I'll carry on. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, God, David Swimmer's let himself go, hasn't he? And the other thing that you're thinking is, who the hell is Darren Altman? Well, I was on Britain's Got Talent a few years ago, and I reached the finals performing celebrity impressions. And basically, the reason that I'm here is because they couldn't afford Anton Deck. There you go. That's right. Welcome to the RTS. That's right. Regions and Nations Quiz. I'm Declan Donnelly. That's right. I'm the lovable one that your grandmother likes. That's right. I always look like I'm on the verge of laughing out loud while sharing a cheeky little in-joke with members of the crew. That's right. Gary on camera too. He gets it. Yeah. Louise on sound. She'd get it. That's right. Well, I'm sitting here with a gin and tonic and a selection of jungle snacks. That's right. I've got some crisps and nuts, and I'll be eating some ostrich anus and chomping down on a kangaroo's knacker. So they couldn't be here. Well, in person. What else? And people say, since you've been doing Britain's Got Talent, what have you been up to, Darren? Well, since I've been doing Britain's Got Talent, I am now the official overdubber for Boris Johnson's speeches. Yes, I am. Whenever he makes a gaffe or talks a lot of nonsense, tish and piffle, they come to me to make him sound vaguely coherent. Yes, they do. Huzzah! So that's what I've been up to. Enough about me. You don't want to hear me making stupid voices all evening. So let's crack on. This is the first time that the RTS centres from all around the UK and Ireland have come together to create such an event. And we owe a big shout out to Phil Barnes, who's the technical whiz that's put all this together. He's pressing buttons and fading things in and fading out and throwing to all of us all over the country. So massive shout out to Phil Barnes for his hard work. Tonight, 5 of the regions and nations have each prepared a round of questions for you. So all of the questions are TV themed and also based on the TV or production in the area of the centre that set them. Now, this is important. Each round will consist of 6 questions with a total of 10 points up for grabs. So that's a maximum of 50 points. What we'll do is we'll go to each of those 5 centres in turn, working our way north to south. So we're going to go to Scotland, Northern Ireland, Yorkshire, the Midlands, and then end up in London, mate. Okay, there'll be a timer in the corner of the screen to count down to the next question. You'll have 30 seconds per question once it's been asked. So no pressure, 30 seconds, and then on to the next question. After each round, we'll give the answers to that round so you can tell how you're doing as you go along. And also, do let me know how you're doing. Type your team name in the YouTube chat box on the right. And also, if you need to refer back to a question, they'll be all printed in there. All the questions will be typed up so you can scroll up and down and see any that you missed. So now it's time to choose a team name. I can see that we've already got some. We can see Sally Carter is Doc Cotton from the East End. Oh, I say. Yeah, so go and put your team names. Scott Tempest Mitchell. Hello, Scott. You're in Leeds and you're the tipping points. Okay, nothing crude like, you know, Hitler's left testicle. We don't want anything like that, thank you. Yeah, so put your team names in the box on the right, and I can check in and see how you're doing. Now, tonight's just for fun. There's no big prize, but suffice to say, if you don't do well, you should be really ashamed of yourself because it's about TV. Okay, so just to recap, 5 rounds. Each round has 6 questions, and there are 10 points per round up for grabs. So now let's start off. If you're all ready, you've got your beers, your gin and tonic, maybe a port and lemon if you're over 72. So now let's kick back and start off the RTS Nations and Regions quiz. And as if by magic, we can go all the way up to Aberdeen in Scotland and say hello to our first question master, Chris Harvey. Chris.
Okay, the new Darren, how are you doing down there?
And that's good because we don't deal in stereotypes here, do we? So that's great.
No national stereotypes whatsoever. And this is as close as I'll get to Eurovision. So this is literally a dream come true.
It's good, isn't it? I literally feel like Tell or Graham Norton. It's good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So listen,
it's fantastic. I would love to say I've got dressed up for this, but I've literally just hot-footed it straight from work, so it doesn't really count as being dressed up.
I was going to say you look.
But fantastic. I'm delighted to be on.
You've either been at work or come straight from court, so you know you look great.
Indeed, guilty, my lord.
So should we kick off then, Chris, with the first questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So here's one for all the telewatchers out there. Greenock lad Martin Compston is currently filming Series 6 of Line of Duty. He plays Detective Steve Arnott in AC-12. What was the name of the 2003 BBC network drama where he was first introduced, playing the character Ewan Brody? So for 1 point, what was the name of the 2003 BBC network drama that Martin Compston first took his TV bow in? That's your time running down. Get your answers in. Brilliant. So we crack on with question 2. Now, question 2. This is the title music, so get your listening ears on, to a Scottish TV show set in a fictional Lochside village. This programme celebrated its 30th anniversary this year, and this is for 2 points. So for point number 1, name the show, and 2, name the village it was set in. So that's the Scottish TV show set in a fictional Lochside village, celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. 2 points for the questions. What's the name of the show? And what was the name of the village it was set in? Now, believe it or not, bit of trivia here. This programme was uploaded to the our STV player, a bit like the ITV Hub that you have down the road, or the BBC iPlayer, and it was the most popular programme watched over the summer during lockdown. People gorged on it. So let's crack on. Question 3. I hope this isn't too taxing. Question 3. Name the West Highland island and town where most of CBeebies' hit kids TV series Balamory was filmed. So, where was Balamory filmed? 1 point for each. So we're looking for an island and the town name. I don't know if we've got music for this, but we should be singing a song here. What's the story? Believe it or not, half the cast from Balamory appeared in the show that was question 2. Maybe more than half. 3 seconds, get those answers done. Now, we're not dealing in Scottish cliches here, but we're getting as close to a stereotype as we can for question 4. Detective Inspector Jim Taggart was first introduced on television some time ago. Now, he was famous for the line, "There's been a murder," which he actually never said. Mark McManus, the actor, never actually said those lines. Now, when we were first introduced to the character on ITV, the programme wasn't called Taggart. What was it called, and what was the year? Another 2-pointer. What was the programme called, and what was the year? There's been a murder. Now, when I first started in television, a long time ago, one of the characters, one of the actresses from Taggart, was filming a folk music series in the TV station up in Aberdeen, known as then Grampian Television. And I came back from a lunch break and she was outside puffing on a cigarette. One way to smash the illusion. Fantastic singer though. 7 seconds to get that one in. Detective Chief Inspector Jim Taggart. 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Hope you're getting the swing of this. We're rattling through it as we should be. Question 5. In 2018, a more recent one here for you, a sitcom was the most watched programme in Scotland with an audience, and I'll read this out because I can name most of them, with an audience of 1,373,000, a quarter of the population of Scotland. What is the name of this long-running series? Sitcom, 2018, massive audience. What would that be for if it was a UK programme? Oh, it would be up in the teens of millions. The teens. Fantastic show. And again, bizarrely, a link to Balamory. Everything's interconnected in Scotland. It's a town. It's a town. Within 12 seconds. I don't live in Iceland. This is the sunshine. Yes, I know that's what you're thinking. 7:45, sun's still up. Right. Final question from Scotland and the Aberdeen jury. And here's a good one. I enjoyed this one. David Tennant is returning to our screens this month, playing the Scottish serial killer Dennis Nielsen in the ITV network drama Des. But David Tennant is not his real name. No, no. For 1 point, where did he get his stage name from? And For the second and final point of the Scottish round, what is his real name? So David Tennant returning to screens with Des. It looks pretty, might be a bit of a tough watch, that one, gripping stuff. Where did he get his stage name from, and what is his real name? You've got 30 seconds. We should be have a clap of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that concludes the round from Scotland. Thanks everyone for playing along and supporting the RTS quiz tonight. Fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. What can I just ask you where you get your encyclopedic knowledge of Scottish television from?
Oh, do you know what? There's not much to do in Scotland in the winter, particularly when you're a kid.
I just love the idea that you can throw out facts and figures and television audiences. I mean, it's impressive.
It's been a long time living up here, watching the same 2 channels that we get, and yeah.
Listen, thank you so much, Chris. Go and enjoy the rest of your Guinness. Thank you so much. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. You got to stay there.
Bye-bye, everyone.
No. Chris, sorry, my fault. I'm getting used to all this. You got to give out the answers in a sec, mate. So hold on one second. I'll tell you what we'll do is, while you're having a little sip and eating your nuts, we'll see how they're doing in the chat. Just a quick, if you're in the YouTube chat, please don't write the answers down because it's sort of telling everyone else, isn't it, really? No names, but don't write the answers. So hello to Peg, Alexander, the Aussies in Leeds, Onya, mate, Onya. Who else we got? Alan Byron. Yes, Alan may or may not be writing the answers. I'm not naming names. Who else have we got? Sue Murray, Suddy Rio. Hello, Sue. Nice to see you. And we've got Scott Tempest Mitchell in Leeds. Hope you're all doing well. You're getting your answers together. We'll give you a few more seconds and then we'll cross back up to Aberdeen. I was saying, I was talking to Chris and saying that my friend lives on the coast of Port Gordon near Aberdeen, and he does a right out of his house and he's virtually face to face with seals, Chris.
There's so much life up here. I mean, it's one of the reasons I did work down in England for a while. Absolutely loved it. Brilliant time in my radio and TV career. But there's something quite incredible about being able to go on a late shift where you can ski in the mountains in the morning, quit at 1 o'clock, and be in the office in a suit at 2:30. Thanks very much. So yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Quality of life, Darren.
Wow, I know, it's amazing. And you left Leytonstone in London, to be up in the most beautiful countryside.
Leytonstone was fantastic. I did have a lovely time down there. I remember one time, the first time I ever went to Leytonstone, I was doing a football commentary, Hull City against Leyton Orient. And, it was a bit of an early start. And I drove down the M1 and got to the ground, Orient's ground. And I didn't have an ISDN kit or a telephone. So I had to nip into Leytonstone High Street and try and find somewhere that sold a telephone on a Saturday morning. And the guy in the shop said, well, you need a telephone. How badly do you need it? And the price went up to about 50 quid.
I'll tell you what, mate,
on my face.
You're looking at what?
Yeah.
Right, should we do these answers, Chris?
Yeah, let's get a crack on. I'll spin through the questions as quick as possible because it's the answers you want. Question 1, Greenock lad Martin Compston. Where did he make his TV name in Scotland, playing the character Ewan Brodie, the 2003 BBC Network drama? For 1 point, the correct answer, Monarch of the Glen. Monarch of the Glen as the answer for question 1. Now, question 2. The title music to a Scottish TV show set in the fictional Lochside village. This programme celebrated its 30th anniversary this year, and it was a 2-pointer. For the first point, name the show. Well, that show was Take the High Road, or latterly High Road. We'll take both for that. And the village was Glendarach, filmed on the west bank of Loch Lomond. If you've never been, drive up, visit Luss obviously when you're allowed to, and the restrictions have been lifted in England, because I see now that you're about to enter another serious lockdown. No fun. Fun's being cancelled. Christmas is off. Glendarroch, absolutely brilliant. So well done if you got those two correct. Question 3, name the West Highland Island. That's the Inner Hebrides and town where most of CBeebies hit TV kids show Balamory was filmed. What's the story in Balamory? Well, it was filmed on the island of Mull, the Isle of Mull, and the correct town was Tobermory. See what they did there? Balamory, Tobermory. Not too much creative thinking there, but brilliant, brilliant. And also very much worth a visit. Question 4, Detective Chief Inspector Jim Taggart. What was the programme called that he first introduced that character? Mark McManus was the actor. The correct answer is Killer, for 1 point. And the year 1983, when I was, let's say 2. I'll just skirt over that. A long time ago. I certainly wasn't able to stay up and watch that programme. Too scary for a young child. Question 5, 2018, a sitcom was the most watched programme in Scotland with an audience of 1.3, nearly 1.4 million people, a quarter of the population of Scotland. What was the name of this long-running series? And the answer to question 5, Still Game. Still Game. Miss Hooley in Balamory married to Greg Hemphill in Still Game. There you go. Tiny town. And finally, question 6, if anyone's been watching TV through the summer, David Tennant, that is, has been doing a fantastic bit of lockdown TV, where actually, if you were keenly eyed, you would have seen his name come up in the production credits. Where did he get his stage name from? He got it from the Pet Shop Boys, Neil Tennant, for 1 point. And his real name, there it is on the screen, David MacDonald. Nothing Scottish about that. David MacDonald, the Doctor Who. Brilliant. And that's us. Thanks ever so much for playing along. It's been lovely to bring you to my little part of Aberdeenshire. And I hope you fare as well in the rest of the quiz with the other regions in the RTS. And thank you as well to Darren and especially Phil Barnes for making this magic happen tonight.
Thank you so much, Chris. That's amazing. Lovely to see you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Have a great time. Good luck.
So before we cross over to our next celebrity quizmaster, we'd just like to say hello to Peg Alexander. Yorkshire is doing a quiz takeover at the moment, she says. Hello to you, Peg. And I hope you're all playing along and doing well. Tricky questions, those. Now, what we'd like to do is cross over to Northern Ireland and welcome the series producer of Mastermind and Celebrity, I started so I'll finish, and Celebrity Mastermind, the RTS, sorry, that was obvious, the RTS Northern Ireland Committee member and RTS Northern Ireland Awards Vice Chair, Jude McCaffrey. Hello, Jude.
Hi, Darren. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Whereabouts are you in Northern Ireland?
I'm in Belfast, originally a Fermanagh man, but here in Belfast, making Mastermind at the moment, just out of studio yesterday. So we asked just over 3,000 questions to various contenders and celebrities in the last week. So I thought, what's a few more for the RTS?
That's amazing. So this is just going to be like busman's holiday for you tonight.
Well, we shall see.
All right then, Jude. Listen, lovely to see you. And if you could crack on with the first question, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Sure thing. So in my very best Northern Ireland accent, I will throw the question out to say, the most recent series of Line of Duty filmed here in Northern Ireland alluded to the existence of a corrupt police officer that had which code letter of the alphabet? And then for another bonus point, this is a 2-pointer, which actor from Northern Ireland plays Superintendent Ted Hastings in Line of Duty? And while the clock's counting down, Darren, do you want to give us an impression of Superintendent Ted Hastings? Or perhaps your microphone may not withstand the Northern Ireland.
I mean, the only my only Northern Ireland reference. Who was the guy in Coronation Street who used to say, "How's about Dear Elizabeth? What do you do?"
Jim McDonald.
There you go. That's it. All I can say is, "How's about Dear Elizabeth? What do you do?" I'm probably offending half.
That's good. So it is. That's very good. So it is.
So listen, while we're just waiting for the clock to tick, you know when they do their their chosen subjects.
Yeah.
What's the most? If you can think of like a few really bizarre subjects, what would they be then?
So last week we had cheeses. Cheeses is going to be a subject coming up. Last year we had British breweries, which is always fun. Stuff like that goes down well. I'm a sucker for food and drink subjects. But yeah, you can get some very bizarre ones. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, my eldest daughter will be give the person who likes cheese a run for their money. I can tell you that.
What would your specialist subject be, Darren?
What would my specialist subject be? Oh, that's a very, very good question. Probably, don't know, spitting image or drummers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good subjects.
Off the top of my head.
Very good.
Let's crack on with question two, shall we?
Okay. Question two. Question two is another 2-pointer. In the world of quiz, so the makers of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, back on our screens this week in September, Belfast-based Stellify Media make that, and they're set to give away the £1 million jackpot this month. And with no Ask the Audience lifeline in this series, which of the remaining lifelines are the contestants now allowed to use twice? So that's for the first point. Which lifeline do the contestants now have twice? And for another point, what year did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire debut in the UK?
We were watching that last night, actually.
Watching
it, and it was a bit upsetting because once you got your Chris Tarrant off and you learned to say, if you'd have said B, if you'd have said B, then he goes, and then you've got to learn how to say Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So you have to switch up. And
Very good. I suppose on the last question, Darren, I was asking you what your specialist subject would be. So what would you spend £1 million on?
Oh, well, do you know what?
Being the natural question for that.
Well, I've got a funny feeling the missus is downstairs, maybe watching, so I'll probably give £500,000 to her just to sort of show my love and appreciation. Yeah. And then I'll just give the other half to charity. Is that the right answer?
I'll give you a point for it. Very good. So that's the time up on that question. Next question is for 1 point. Green Ink Film and Television was formed in 1996 by Stephen Stewart, and it was co-founded with which Northern Irish comedian?
And what would you spend your £1 million on? Obviously, is the obvious question.
£1 million. I suppose it is a nations and regions quiz, so it's worth putting out to the nations and regions. Cost of living is very cheap in Northern Ireland, so that money would go quite the distance here in Northern Ireland. But I would probably spend it, as I do my normal money, on Tesco meal deals, which is what gets me through the day. That's my meal of choice.
What I love it. That's what
I'm not endorsed. Other supermarkets are available, but I happen to live close to one, so
fantastic.
I can't think of anything in particular.
You're a man of exquisite taste. Exquisite. That's great. So
that's great. That's the time up on that one then. So the next question is for 1 point, and again back to the world of quiz, and in Northern Ireland, mastermind Amanda Henderson went viral in early 2020 when she gave the wrong answer, Sharon, to a question on Celebrity Mastermind, which was filmed in Belfast. Now, the person who is the correct answer to that question changed her Twitter name to Sharon in response. Who was that person, or who is that person?
We got a second part to that, have we? Second part to that question?
Philip, do we have a second part to that question?
Shall I read it?
Or is it just the one part? No, so, I see a little message on my screen, Darren, that says no one part.
Oh, I love this. So I've been overruled by the powers that be. Wow. All right.
I don't know where that message came from. I'm not wearing my tinfoil hat. I hope everyone else saw that as well. Very good. That's time up on that one. So just a few more questions left. So going around Northern Ireland here, we will go further north up to Derry. So Derry Girls actor Dylan Llewellyn plays the wee English fella on the show, and he is an honorary Derry girl in the comedy. So what's his character's first name and surname? For 2 points, 1 point each for the character's first name and the character's surname.
Good stuff. Can you think of any more funny or unusual specialist subjects? I like the idea of British breweries and cheeses.
British breweries and cheeses makes for a great night in, really. I suppose, you know, like food and drink and movies. You know, movies are a popular subject choice on Mastermind, and biographical history and all that sort of stuff. But,
and who hosts it over there? Who hosts it in Northern Ireland?
So John Humphreys is the host of Mastermind and Celebrity Mastermind. As he has been for many years now. And yeah, as I say, just a week in studio there, lots of questions asked, and all went very well.
Fantastic. Good. And on to the last question.
On to the last question. So here we go. So for 2 points, so Game of Thrones, which was made in Northern Ireland, featured Charles Dance as the villain Tywin Lannister. So we're going to ask where in the Tower of Hand exactly did he die, and for another point, the specific method of his death, his character's death. And we won't accept Westeros as an answer, King's Landing, the Tower of the Hand. Where specifically did he die? And fun fact, I was Dead Stark number 83 in a scene in series 2 of Game of Thrones. Whenever I was on set.
Wow.
So if you pause at just the right moment in series 2 in a battle scene, you will see me along with a lot of other people with long brown hair and beards being dead Starks.
So did you get to spend like a whole day in a freezing cold muddy field dressed
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly how the day went.
And they say showbiz isn't glamorous, but you know.
Hey.
Oh, we need to do a special shout out to Thomas Poppe from Belfast. He's got Team Stellify from Belfast. So I don't want any backhanders, by the way. Just play this nice and straight.
No backhanders. We're all very honest in Northern Ireland. The only corruption in Northern Ireland is on screen in Line of Duty.
Good stuff. Well, I think if everyone's ready, if we could get the answers, Jude, that'd be great.
Okay, so to recap the answers. So that code letter, which was the code letter of a corrupt police officer in Line of Duty, was H or H, depending on how you pronounce it. Either or, it's acceptable in Northern Ireland. Adrian Dunbar is the actor who plays Superintendent Ted Hastings, who famously says he didn't come down the lagan in a bubble, among other local phrases. The makers of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Stellify Media, are giving away £1 million this month, and they have introduced an extra lifeline of Phone a Friend. So there are now 2 Phone a Friend lifelines in place of the Ask the Audience lifeline that is gone. 1998 is the year that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire debuted, as seen on Quiz very recently on our screens in the dramatisation. Green Ink Film and Television was formed by Stephen Stewart and also co-founded at the time by Patrick Kilty. And question 10, the celebrity who was in the question and to which the answer was Sharon. That celebrity was Greta Thunberg, and she changed her name to Sharon in response to the clip that went viral when Amanda Henderson gave the answer Sharon when she should have said Greta Thunberg. Derry Girls actor Dylan Llewellyn plays James Maguire in the show. And Tywin Lannister was shot with a crossbow on the toilets. What a way to go.
That's like the most bizarre game of Cluedo you'll ever hear in your life.
It's all about the game shows in this round. Cluedo.
You'll have to forgive me. The reason I was asking is I knew that John Humphreys. But I thought we were talking about. I didn't realise it was made in Belfast. I thought you had your Irish, another version of it. But
no, yeah. It's it moved to Belfast last year, and John Humphreys came with the show. So
interesting. Well, listen, thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Darren. Yeah, and thanks very much to the RTS for putting this together, and for Philip for doing all the technical stuff. And yeah, shout out to everyone else in Northern Ireland.
Hey, thank you so much, Jude. And now I would like to say hello to anyone on YouTube. Just we're waiting for you to tot up your scores. If there's any scores that you like to, can't see anything at the moment, please do post your scores. I hope you're keeping track. And if you want to say hello, please do post in the chat box on YouTube, and we can keep in touch. Hope you're all doing well. And now what we'd like to do is from Northern Ireland, Belfast, we're going to fly back to England and join our celebrity quizmaster from Yorkshire. And we'd like to welcome, by the way, when they get here, check out the coat. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Chair of RTS Yorkshire Centre, former higher education DVC, former TV programme maker, and currently chair of RTS Yorkshire Centre, Fiona Thompson.
Oh, classic Zoom problem there. I muted myself. How stupid. Hello, everybody. And so far, I can't help thinking those quiz questions have been very, very difficult. And I was told that our questions were very, very difficult. But let me tell you, the most difficult question would be, name a program that I made, because then you'd really be going back in time. Anyway, are you ready, Darren? Shall I go ahead with some questions?
Crack on, crack on.
And yeah, I hope people have noticed the jacket, especially for tonight. I've dressed up. So, this is the RTS Yorkshire Centre with their questions. So here you go. This is question number 13, I think, or question number 1, depending on how you're numbering them. So what was the name of the documentary series produced by Yorkshire Television that included programmes like Johnny Go Home and Cold Blood, The Massacre of East Timor? These are brilliant documentary series, absolutely brilliant documentary series. Range of award-winning programs going on there, but I can't compete with Chris over the amount of information I can share with you. But so for 1 point, what was the name of the documentary series?
Can I ask where you got your coat from, by the way? Don't tell me you made it by hand.
No, I did not, and don't go too close to a naked flame in it, let me tell you. It's
unbelievable.
There are many companies that do it, but it's a company called Oppo Suits, O-P-P-O and then Suits, and they do a whole range of weird and wonderful. So yes, my test card jacket comes with trousers as well and a tie.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. So
well, thank you for making an effort. We appreciate it.
I know, I tried. You should see what I normally wear. Anyway. Question 14, or question number 2. And hopefully there'll be some music coming up in a minute. Which YTV drama series, based on the books by K.M. Payton, set in the period of the First World War, opened with a backdrop featuring biplanes and horses, and featured this haunting background music? Are we going to get the music, or do I have to whistle it? I can't even whistle. Is it coming? Maybe. Go a bit. Bit more, Phil.
What do they say? Technical trouble, gremlins in the system. Is that?
I would whistle, but it's no good. It wouldn't work like that. So it says,
the next one.
Sorry, didn't realise YouTube could hear it. So that's the YTV drama series.
Okay, I'm getting messages and texts, Fiona, just to let you know that they can hear it. So it's going out on YouTube, but not for us.
Not for us.
Thank you, Trish, by the way. My mate Trish is just pinging me text saying we can hear it, so thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. Can I just give a shout out for the RTS as well? If you're enjoying this and you're not a member of RTS, then please join us. It's a wonderful organisation to belong to. There's lots of benefits that you can see on the website. So join the Royal Television Society. You know it makes sense. Yeah, it's good timing. Now we're on to question number 15. Going back in time again. In which year was Rising Damp, the sitcom starring Leonard Rossiter and Francis de la Tour, first broadcast? And who wrote it? So that's for 2 points. Name the year in which it was first broadcast and who wrote it.
You know something, I'm showing my age now, but I could actually do a Rigsby.
Go on then.
I'm dating myself now. Good God, Miss Jones, I really think so, Miss Jones. Yes, good God. Yes. It's not. Do you know what? Funnily enough, there's not much call for a Rigsby these days, Fiona.
That's very good, but you could have said that you'd watched it on something like, I don't know,
Catch up.
Like
That's right. Absolutely. Obviously, being 22, I was too young at the time, but
Yes, but iconic. I think we'll all agree it was an iconic series. Here we go. Hopefully you've got that one. And now we're on to question number 16. There's a new adaptation of All Creatures Great and Small on our screens, based on the books by James Herriot. I watch it, it's wonderful. I remember the first series and now I'm watching this one, it's brilliant. But what was James Herriot's real name? And who plays him in the new adaptation? Now, no cheating, don't go straight onto Google. But what was James Herriot's real name? And who plays him in this wonderful new adaptation? Have you watched it, Darren?
Do you know, I haven't. I'm not a fan, unfortunately. But I've got to say, I would agree with you. Your questions in the Yorkshire area are tricky.
Oh dear.
They're tricky. By the way, where in Yorkshire are you? Just out of interest.
I'm based just near the World Heritage Site known as Saltaire, which is in between Bradford and kind of Skipton way.
Lovely.
So it is. It's very nice. We've had beautiful weather today. It's been utterly gorgeous.
Fantastic.
Really nice. It's God's own country, God's own county, and that's why so many people come here to film. Just brilliant locations. There's another plug. I'll mention Screen Yorkshire. No, I won't mention Screen Yorkshire. I've mentioned them. They do wonderful things for us up in this region. So question 17. Which YTV produced programme, so that's which Yorkshire Television produced programme, was the first programme on Channel 4 in 1982? And a bonus point for naming the original presenter. So which Yorkshire Television programme was the first programme on Channel 4 in 1982, and a bonus point for naming the original presenter? And it's still growing, it's still going strong.
Yeah, I think this is the one question that I get the answer right, I think. I mean, despite the fact that it's actually down below here on a piece of paper, I think I did actually know this. So,
yeah. But you know, there are a lot of telly people out there, a lot of telly geeks who will know this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There might be people out there who will get 50 points. Now, will they tell us they've got 50 points? Or will they just be quietly content?
So that was the last question of the round. And while we're waiting for people to...
no, I've got one.
Oh, sorry, you've got one more. Excuse me.
Yeah,
excuse me.
sure,
Turn the paper over, Darren. You're a professional.
Yeah. So, question number 18. Created by Leeds-based award-winning writer, producer and director Kay Mellor, name the drama she wrote based on the lives of the women's football team, the Castlefield Blues. And name the drama, her drama, which was made into a musical. So for 2 points, name the drama that was based on the lives of the women's football team, the Castlefield Blues, and the drama that has been made into a musical, all written by Kay Mellor, who's actually been grand at supporting a lot of other writers who are now famous names. Kay Mellor's done an awful lot to support actors and writers in our region.
That's lovely to hear. Giving a bit back to other up and coming writers. That's wonderful, isn't it?
It is. I find that about a lot of writers actually will do that, will support up and coming new writers. But it's a great group to belong to, I think.
Talking of writers, you need to tell us, you need to put us out of our misery and let us know what program you worked on.
What programs I didn't work on?
Oh, I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten.
Religious programming. Programs like a program called Sunday Live, which came out live on the ITV network from the Yorkshire TV bar every Sunday.
Yorkshire TV bar?
Yes, the Yorkshire Television used to have a bar. All TV companies had bars, I believe, and we used to take it over to make a program there, so you could see through the windows outside. So you could say, "Yes, we're live from Kirkstall Road in Leeds. Here we go."
And who presented that
program?
Who presented that, Fiona?
Gloria Hunniford.
Of course she did. And what was the one that Harry Seacombe presented? Highway.
That was Highway, yes. Yeah, I think that might have been Central. I don't know if that was Yorkshire, but yeah. So, I also made a series of programs called Faith and Music, which is where I got out to meet some real music stars. So,
fantastic.
It was a lovely time. Yorkshire Television, I owe them a lot. Anyway, would you like the answers?
Please, that'd be amazing.
I don't know why people need the answers, because I'm sure they'll have guessed these easily. So the documentary series produced by Yorkshire Television, award-winning, won award after award after award, was known as First Tuesday. Question 14, the drama series based on the books by K.M. Payton, you know what it was. It was Flambards. Rising Damp. In which year was that first broadcast? For 1 point, it was 1974, and it was written by Eric Chappell. All Creatures Great and Small, based on the books by James Herriot. His real name was James Alfred White, but he was commonly known as Alf White. So if you've got Alf White, you're right. If you've got James Alfred White, you're right. If you've got James White, you're right. And the actor who's playing him in the new adaptation is Nicholas Ralph. Question 17, the YTV produced program, first program on Channel 4 in 1982 was Countdown. And the presenter was Richard Whiteley. Much missed, great loss to us was Richard Whiteley. And finally, Kay Mellor, Leeds-based award-winning writer, producer and director. Her drama based on the lives of a women's football team was called Playing the Field. And the musical is Fat Friends the Musical. So there you go. That ends the voting from the Yorkshire region.
Thank you so much, Fiona. That's great. Really, really lovely to see you. And thank you for making an effort tonight. Perfect.
I'm going to take it off now.
Listen, thanks ever so much, and we'll speak soon.
Bye.
So there goes Fiona up in Yorkshire. And while you're just totting up your scores, we'll see what's going on the YouTube chat. So hello to Sue Murray. Nice to see you. Rachel Belt 1. Thank you. She says, yes, the music's on, so that's much appreciated. Sue Murray's a member of the committee. And Peg Alexander says, excellent Kay Mellor questions. Could be my specialist subject. So next time, maybe next time. Michael Wood. Hello, Michael. Think we need to team up, Peg. I'm struggling here on my own. That's good. And Christopher Harvey says, we did Highway. So does that mean you're from the central region, Christopher? Hello, welcome to Highway. Too young, never seen it. There's a bit of banter here. Peg Alexander said we should have. Fiona said if we scored 50, I'm hoping for 5. They're tough. They are tough. And someone called Emma Altman is in the chat. Whoever she is. Big fan of the show. Big fan of the show. Listen, I hope you're all having fun. Hope you got a gin and tonic and some snacks on the go. And we are going to cross over to our penultimate celebrity quizmaster. And I've been given a little bit of information on our quizmasters, and the next gentleman is very distinguished. He's a British writer and journalist. He's written Doctor Who audio plays for the Big Finish range, the stage play Manhattan Henge, and the Rhubarb radio series Attachment. And his book on Alan Plater's The Beiderbecke Affair was published by the British Film Institute and Palgrave Macmillan. So we'd like to welcome from the Midlands, William Gallagher. Hello, William. Good evening.
I pushed the switch mark. Does distinguished mean old? Is that where you're going with this?
Well, distinguished as in, what an amazing, like, lofty, above me, way above me.
You're digging further now, aren't you?
How are you? How are you doing? Whereabouts in the Midlands are you?
I'm just outside Birmingham, and I was going to say I'm fine, but this is my best jacket, and you put me on right after Fiona. How can you do that?
I love the idea. I mean, Fiona's in a league of her own, clearly, but I love the idea that you've made an effort. Thank you so much. I'm finding the quiz really hard, but I'm oddly confident that I know the answers to maybe the next 6 questions or so. What do you think? Have I got a chance? Are you ready for me to dive in? Go for it. Thank you so much.
Right. Been waiting for this. Tiswas, the Midlands-based, chaotic, messy Saturday morning children's show Tiswas. It was so popular with adults that a late night version was made. Now, there are 2 points on offer here. One of them is just, what was it called? And the other point, this might actually be quite a bit of a clue. What did the initials stand for? What was it called? And what did the initials stand for?
I used to watch Tiswas on a Saturday morning. It was absolute bedlam. It was nothing like it on TV.
Funny thing, that's why, oops, I nearly said the name. The late night show was much the same, but it was famous, it was notorious, and it was known at the time. If all the people who talked about it had watched it, it might have lasted longer.
Yeah. Was it just one series, did it? Was it 1 or 2 maximum?
Something like 13 episodes. Chris Tarrant from Tiswas was there, Lenny Henry, but didn't have, is it Susan James? So it wasn't the complete cast. Sally James. It just didn't feel quite right. Not that I remember from that long ago. No.
Cool. Thank you very much. Question 2.
Question 2, right. Birmingham's Highbury Hall. It's a gorgeous filming location, and actually it's where I had my wedding reception. None of you came. I don't know. It's believed, there's a tiny bit of doubt, but it's almost certain that Highbury Hall in Birmingham was actually the inspiration for a world famous board game that was devised in 1943. And in case that's just a little bit too obscure for you, there was actually a film made of the board game in 1985, and Tim Curry starred in it. What was the name of the board game?
Love the idea that you actually had your wedding at this place. Amazing.
Especially for this, so that I could check it out.
You were prophetic. You could see this coming, couldn't you?
I'm a writer, research, you know what I'm like. Distinguished, yeah. So.
Fantastic. And what's the weather been like up in the Midlands today? It's been gorgeous here down in the south.
A little mixed, actually, but I'm a writer. I've got my screen here and writing. There's a window there. You can't turn all the way out there to look at the weather. You crack on with things. Speaking of which, are we ready for the next one? This is definitely about the Midlands. ITV here in the Midlands is called Central, of course, and it has been since 1982. I actually remember watching the opening of that. But for 2 points here, what were the 2 companies that previously held the franchise? So it's Central now, and there were 2 companies before it. You get 1 point for each.
By the way, William, Sue Murray says hello. She a colleague of yours?
Sue, good grief, hello. How are you doing? Listen, do you want me to wink the answer at you, Sue? Yeah? Okay, yeah. We'll talk later.
think she's playing on her own, so any help that she could get would be appreciated, to be
All right,
honest.
hang on. I've got a phone here. No, okay.
Don't text her. Don't text her. See, we can't hear the music. I can imagine it, but we can't hear that, you see.
It's in my head now forever. Oh, so is the theme from Flambards, you know. Love that show. Okay,
Fantastic.
and I think you're ready now. Much easier, this one. Doddle, this one. Peaky Blinders creator, writer and creator, Stephen Knight. He's also responsible for co-creating which ITV quiz show? You get a point, but frankly, you barely deserve it because the answer was mentioned in a previous round. What quiz show on ITV did Stephen Knight co-create, please?
And it's franchised all over the world, isn't it? It's gone out to however many countries. Unbelievable.
Yeah, amazing. When you see the different versions and how slavishly they've followed this one, and you see why, the tension, the drama.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not giving too much away, is it?
I mean, they really did nail Bullseye. You know, it's yeah. Love to see the Korean version, the North Korean version of Bullseye. Yeah.
I'd like to see the untransmitted pilot. There's supposed to be a pilot version of Bullseye that was made that was so bad that they decided they couldn't air it. But then when you've seen the real show, I hope there's nobody watching who worked on it. Maybe we should move on to the next question then. A writer question. Line of Duty writer. Line of Duty, again, mentioned earlier. Jed Mercurio. He attended the University of Birmingham Medical School, which may be a clue to this, because the question is, what was his first TV series called? And for a second point, where was it set?
I think that's a stage name, Jed Mercurio. That's unbelievable.
No, all writers have great names like that. It's just, you know, it's a rule. When you're born, what's the name? They're a writer. Yeah, clearly.
Or is it a pen name?
I don't think so. I don't know him personally, but I've got a friend who does, and he always just calls him Jed. So, hang on, let me get that phone out again and check.
Yeah.
Maybe Sue knows.
Oh, she's in Ireland, by the way. I thought she was in Susan Island. Jed Mercurio. That's unbelievable. If I ever make it big, I'm changing my name to Jed Mercurio. Yeah. Darren Starcloth. I'm not sure.
Oh. Well, I'm William Gallagher, and there is a Bill Gallagher, and I occasionally get invoices for him, and he gets my TV credits. It's, yeah, but we're bonded.
Fantastic.
Oh, next question, really important question on this one, because we have actually asked here in the Midlands, RTS in the Midlands, we have asked that this music not be played, because for some of us, maybe of a certain age, it's just, frankly, it's too sad. Crossroads. You know the famous theme from Crossroads, but whenever an episode would come to a tragic or just low, horrible, upsetting ending, the regular theme would be replaced by a new arrangement, arranged and performed by, well, actually, let's have two parts to this question. You get a point for which famous, very famous artist and his not quite so famous band performed and arranged it. And then a second point for who wrote the theme to Crossroads.
Am I allowed to give a little bit of trivia, a bit of clue, do you think?
You can only give a clue to people in the Midlands. That's okay. The deal.
All right. I think if I do it in a dreadful Birmingham accent, I think that the person who composed this also composed the theme to Neighbours.
Yes, you're right. Yes. Oh, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
The story is, isn't it, that I knew said his name. He got a phone call back in the days when we used phones, and he was commissioned to write the theme to Neighbours. And by the time he'd hung up, he had it in his head. That's the legend.
I love stories like that. I like stories, yeah. Or I just wrote it down on the back of a post-it note or a fag packet, and the next thing you know, wonderful.
Yeah, while the rest of us write into the night, struggling on. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Is that? Iona says, can you hum it, please?
Oh, I can't. I might start tearing up.
I genuinely remember I can hum the theme to Crossroads, but not the sad version.
Slow it down in your mind and put some, well, actually, I was going to say more synth, a bit more guitar work in it, and that you'll have it.
Right. Maybe we can all go straight to YouTube after this and have a
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Sue says that she's got another bit of trivia for the last question. Go on, Sue. I think are we probably ready to give out the answers, and then we can see what Sue's trivia question is afterwards.
Oh, I want to know. Right. Yes. Answers. Okay. For the first question I asked, I was going to say sequel, the adult version. No, that sounds wrong as well. The late night version of Tis Was. It was called OTT, and it stood for Over the Top. So OTT and Over the Top. Now, for the next one, I had to be so careful how I phrase this, because I nearly said, this is the one about Highbury Hall in the Midlands, a filming location, and the board game. I so nearly said, and a clue is that there was a film starring Tim Curry, because the board game is called Cluedo. And actually, if you just said Clue, you're welcome to that as well, because that's the American version of it. It's equally famous, and that was the name of the film in most territories. So Cluedo or Clue for 1 point. And next, ITV in the Midlands, Central here in the Midlands. Before 1982, it was ATV, which is where Crossroads started, I believe. And before ATV, it was ABC. I mean, we're reaching back now to the start, but you got 1 point for ATV and 1 for ABC. Next up, Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight. He co-created Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? What else could it be? Easy one. And for penultimate one, before we get Sue's trivia, the line of duty question, Joe Mercurio, his first series was Cardiac Arrest. So you get 1 point for Cardiac Arrest. And the second point is where it was set. It was set in Wolverhampton, actually where I run lots of writing workshops and things. I love Wolverhampton. So Cardiac Arrest and Wolverhampton. And then the last question, the sad question, the trivia question. The Crossroads theme, I think if you don't know this, it's unbelievable, but the sad version of the theme was arranged and performed by Paul McCartney and Wings. Shame it wasn't the Beatles, but you know, look it up, it is good. And then, of course, the writer of the original version of that was Tony Hatch.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Before you go, William, I've got to ask you: are you working on anything? Are you writing anything at the moment? Interesting.
Yes, actually. You mentioned my book, The Beiderbecke Affair, and we talked about Flambards earlier, which, although he didn't write the novels, Alan Plater created that. He wrote The Beiderbecke Affair. I'm actually working on a play about Alan at the moment, which is going, very nicely.
Oh, fantastic!
But sorry, what about Sue's trivia? What did she have?
Come on, Sue.
Iona.
He says, Sue says, I have another bit of trivia for the last question. Feel free to type in the chat box, Sue, and let us know.
Oh, keeping us dangling. That's what we're doing to everybody, isn't it?
Well, basically,
we're getting what we deserve.
Here we go. I did. He used to be on New Faces, Tony Hatch. Yeah, you're right, actually. He was a judge on New Faces, wasn't he?
Oh, New Face. Oh, goodness me. Yes. So, where do you remember that from?
And who was the host of New Faces? I can see his face.
Oh, yes, Gary Newbon comes to mind. I could be wrong. That's the face I'm seeing.
Yeah.
For sports news journalist, sports presenter in the Midlands. I don't know. There's a lovely story, by the way, about New Faces. Do you know about Lenny Henry on it?
Go for it. Go on.
Lenny Henry's first ever television appearance was on New Faces, and I can't remember, it was 70s or 80s, and he didn't see it because this was pre-streaming, pre-video really. He never saw, he didn't see his own performance on New Faces for something like 40 years. An organisation here in the Midlands called Kaleidoscope, which restores our television, plunders archives, finds things. They found his appearance on New Faces just a couple of years ago and sent it off to him. Isn't that brilliant to be able to see yourself after all that time? Wow,
that's amazing. Yeah. I remember he did Frank Spencer and all the old favourites, Frank Spencer and
Othello, slightly different, but he did Othello as well. Great production. Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us, William, and giving up your evening.
Thank you. It's been fun. Well, it's been hard, but I'm enjoying it. I want to see what my total score is. So thank you for having me on this.
There you go. Thanks ever so much. William up in the Midlands. Amazing. And before we go to our next celebrity quizmaster, if you can post how you're doing, if you totted up your scores, write it in the chat box, that would be amazing. Susan worked in the RTE TV archives. So another bit of trivia. Do you know, I love the idea that all the, I mean, no pressure, our next celebrity quizmaster, but you know, you need to have your A game on and come up with a load of trivia and fun facts. So everyone's been brilliant tonight, unbelievable, encyclopedic knowledge. Oh, here we go. Sue's saying that was so easy. She's had a couple of glasses of white wine, bless her. And right, so we'd like to welcome now. This is the last round of the quiz, round 6. She's a TV presenter, music and entertainment law expert. So if you need to sue anyone, she's your man. She's a regular presenter for YCTV's Pass the Mic. She's interviewed artists such as the So Solid crew and Damage. She's hosted live events for Flavour Mag and also directed an episode of Your Shout for the BBC. Our final celebrity quizmaster is Letitia Lee. Hello. Unmute, unmute, unmute. Can you unmute?
Typical technical. Yes.
How you
You
doing?
can hear me. Hi, Darren.
Oh, you're in. I forgot to say you're in London.
In London.
Whereabouts in London are you?
I am south of the river.
Nice. So am I.
No South London jokes.
I'm southwest. Whereabouts are you?
Southeast.
Southeast. Wonderful. And how's things across the river then?
Do you know what? I live right by an ambulance station. So there are loads of sirens. So anytime I have Zoom calls, people think I live in a war zone. It's hilarious.
People think you're in downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And you've got the last set of questions for us.
Yeah, London is last, but by no means least. So Londoners, we are ready. So, the first question. EastEnders has had a lot of famous faces grace Albert Square over the years, but which former cast member has since taken on a rather devilish new role? Darren, can you do an impression of anyone from
EastEnders? Do you know what? We sort of made a decision in our household about 10 years ago not to watch EastEnders, really. I know. I used to do, I'm taking baby Courtney and I'm never coming back. Used to do, sort of Cod Ross Kemp, but, got to do the eyebrows. When you're doing Ross Kemp, I'm Ross Kemp. This is the world's most dangerous Zoom quizzes. It's a work in progress. It's
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's the eyebrow, I think. Yeah. So is that you? Are you an EastEnders fan?
It's an East London staple, of course.
There you go. Oh, you're in Waterloo, aren't you? Of course you are.
Yeah, but I'm a Londoner, so, you know.
London, I'm a Londoner. You're looking up what? I mean, do me a rowing it in, mate. Are you born and bred then?
I am. Step outside and, you breathe and it costs 20 quid.
That's right. Amazing. So I think that's 30 seconds. We can't hear the do-do-do-do-do-do-do, but I presume that's 30 seconds. Okay. Give or take.
All right. Should we rock and roll? So the next question is a 2-part question. So ITV had 2 franchises in London in the 1980s, Thames on weekdays and LWT at the weekends. So the handover from Thames to LWT happens on a Friday, but changed time in 1982. People are nodding along at home. What were the 2 changeover times? So first part, pre-1982, and secondly, post-1982.
Wow, you've got to be a TV fan to know that.
Honestly, I can close my eyes and I can just picture that red, white, and blue LWT logo.
Diddle-a-dum, 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 with a big timpani at the end. Wonderful. I've got a very, very good friend of mine and Phil's, who put all this together, is a lady called Trish Bertram. And she's a fantastic voiceover artist, and she was one of the continuity announcers for LWT all the way through the golden age, and she's got some great stories. Yeah, what a time that must have been.
I read that LWT turned 52 last month. Had its
52?
Yeah.
Wow. That's unbelievable. And I just remember the feeling, like when I was a little kid, like you say, seeing the L, the W, the T, and it was the start of the weekend. It was Friday.
Right?
Yeah.
You knew it was time for the weekend.
Yeah. Exciting. Play your cards right. Oh, wonderful.
Okay. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember now what we watched. Well, we're going to come to some of those old school shows in a bit, in the next couple of questions. So rocking on to the next question. It's a two-part question. So the opening ceremony to the 2012 London Olympics featured the prominent 19th century engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel in Isle of Wonder. So which Shakespearean actor played him? And for the second part, who directed the production? That's a tricky one. Watched by over 1.5 billion people.
Wow, really? Trish is on the text, and this is what I see. We're all like one big geek TV family. She said that Derek Hobson hosted New Faces. Derek Hobson. The pilot was hosted by Leslie Crowther. What was the pilot? What were we talking about? The pilot of? Can't think. Oh, it stood for Lots Worse Than Thames, LWT. But that's
Lots
what they.
Worse Than Thames.
There you go. Or Lost Weekend Television. See, straight from the horse's.
No rivalry.
There you go.
All friendly.
That's it.
Love it.
Amazing. So, what are you working on at the moment? You got any interesting projects on the go?
I'm not working on anything TV related right now. This time has been great for me to kind of just tidy up my show reel. And in terms of other things, I'm working on some brand strategy stuff for just some brands in the music and entertainment industry, helping them to redirect their brands. Fantastic.
I think a lot of people are taking stock and getting stuff together and preparing for. Funnily enough, I was doing a show reel a couple of nights ago, just preparing for when this madness and strange times, as we all like to say, is over. So I think it's a good plan, isn't it? Getting your head together and sorting things out.
Yeah, it's been a great time to just reflect and just get your heads out and work.
Amazing. Sue Murray is still on the white wine, and she's saying game for a laugh. Of course, game for a laugh. Yeah.
I don't remember that one. Oh no, I'm showing my age.
Game for a laugh. It was a prank show with Jeremy Beadle and Sarah Kennedy and Matthew Kelly and Henry Kelly. There you go, all four of them sitting on high stools.
I don't remember. Some people will come back to me.
There you go. Good stuff. On to the next question, I think. Thank you.
So another two-part question. Who is the longest serving TV presenter on British television? And what is their record to within 1 year? This person never takes holidays. Just roll over the holiday days.
Didn't he have a like a 94th or 95th birthday recently, I think, this person?
It's sealed.
I mean, not that we can say or give any clues. No.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, they're an institution, aren't they? An absolute institution. Do you know what I've noticed? We're in the last round, and I can see the count. I only just noticed the countdown. Oh, Phil, there's a count. Oh dear me. Wow. Can we start again, please? We can tighten this up. It'll be fine in the edit. Don't worry about that.
You gotta love live TV.
Oh my word. There you go. There's your 30 seconds.
30 seconds is up. Oh no, second to last question. If you can hear noises, I'm clinking my green tea, not red wine. So, originally produced by Cosgrove Hall Films for Thames Television, on which famous streets did Danger Mouse live on? I can definitely hear the theme tune for that. Danger Mouse.
Brilliant. Coming
Extra points for terrible singing.
Yeah.
No extra points.
We should. Oh, someone's posting answers. I'm not saying if they're wrong or right, but someone's posting an answer in the chat. Who's that? Staria Lee. Feel free to post because we're on our last question. So, you know.
Danger Mouse, flat sharing with Penfold.
There you go. Penfold.
Penfold.
Who did the voice of Penfold? It was Terry Scott from the Carry On films. Terry and June.
Very good.
And who did Danger Mouse, the original Danger Mouse? David Jason, as in Del Boy.
Incredible trivia. I'm impressed.
He did it in sort of very well spoken. He didn't sort of go, all right there, my friend, Danger Mouse, Kushti. He didn't do all that. He was just, maybe he should have. Good stuff. Right. And we've got the last question then.
Rocking on to the last question. So, for the final question, name the 3 guest judges that have taken part in Strictly Come Dancing over the years. Name the 3 guest judges that have taken part in Strictly Come Dancing over the years.
That's a toughie.
Yeah, you got to be a real Strictly fan. Know your Strictly trivia. I wasn't sure if we were going to get Strictly this year, but I heard that it's going ahead. I'm so excited. It's
going ahead. They've named all the cast, and they've said that I'm a Celebrity is in a castle this year, isn't it? It's not in Australia.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I think it's in a haunted castle in Wales or near Wales, I think.
Right.
That's going to be different.
It's actually quite nice to have a change of scene. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it might be interesting to change it up. I think get a lot of viewers, I reckon. Another bit of trivia is that my friend Trish, who not only was she a continuity announcer on LWT, and you mentioned the opening ceremony of the Olympics, well, she was the voice of God for the closing ceremony. So what a pressure gig that must have been. I mean, how many?
That is a claim to fame.
Millions, billions of people would have seen her, Trish, like close the London Olympics 2020. Can you imagine?
I'd love that as a claim to fame. I mean, the voice of God. I played the voice of God.
Yeah.
Ceremony to the Olympics. That's pretty incredible.
Oh God, what a pressure gig. Do you know, I've never actually asked Trish. I will ask her, but what it was like. I mean, I suppose you just got to focus and not worry about like the population of the globe listening to you.
No pressure, none.
Exactly. Right. I think we're there. Do you want to put everyone out their misery? And just before you do, can I just say, if you're keeping scores, which I hope you are, please do write in the chat box how you're doing, and we won't laugh at you because we're not like that. We're very friendly here. So, yeah, do write your scores down. That'll be appreciated.
Okay. So we're ready for the answer for the first one. So just a reminder of the question. EastEnders has had a lot of famous faces, graced Albert Square over the years, but which former cast member has since taken on a rather devilish new role? The answer is Tom Ellis, who played Dr. Oliver Cousins in EastEnders and currently plays Lucifer on the Fox Netflix series. You know, I haven't forgiven him for breaking Little Mo's heart. And she left the square, and it's only right that the devil broke Little Mo's heart. The answer is Tom Ellis.
If only I had a clue what you were talking. I presume you're talking about EastEnders.
Yeah, I'm talking about EastEnders. He broke Little Mo's heart in EastEnders. I mean, it was all an accident, but it was just so sad because Little Mo was so sweet. And the next answer. So just a reminder, this was a two-part question. So ITV had two franchises in London in the 80s, Thames on weekdays, LWT at the weekend, and the handover happened on a Friday and changed time in 1982. What were the two changeover times? So pre-1982, it was 7 p.m. and post-1982, it was 5:15 p.m. So 1 point for each.
And if you got that, you also win the bonus title of being the TV Geek of the Year.
Honestly, I'd have to Google the answer for that.
Unbelievable. Well, you can't say things like that.
No, I would, but I'm not Googling anything. Okay, so the next question. Another two-part question. This one was pretty tricky. The opening ceremony to the 2012 London Olympics featured a prominent 19th century engineer, Isambard Kingdom Brunel in Isle of Wonder. Which Shakespearean actor played him? It was Sir Kenneth Branagh. And who directed the production? Danny Boyle. I think Sir Kenneth Branagh is in Tenet, which is out. I don't know if we can actually go to the cinema to see it just yet. I think we can.
Oh.
Let's see. So, rattling on to the next answer. Question close to my heart. Two-part question. Who is the longest serving TV presenter on British television? Of course, it's naturalist Sir David Attenborough. And what's their record? 66 years and 97 days.
That's unbelievable.
That's pretty incredible.
And his voice is so synonymous, isn't it? It's incredible.
I can hear it now.
When he started off, he was quite high and he used to talk like this. But as he's got lower and his teeth don't sit as it should, it sort of dropped to this. Very interesting. But that's just
I love it.
A bit of a geek.
You're so good. Little hand clap for you there, Darren. All right. So next answer, originally produced by Cosgrove Hall Films for Thames Television. On which famous street did Danger Mouse live on? The answer is, of course, Baker Street. Lots of mice still living at Baker Street Station. Okay, and are we ready for the final answer? Hope everyone's been getting on well out there. The question again, name the 3 guest judges that have taken part in Strictly Come Dancing over the years. It's for the Strictly fans. So, 1, Jennifer Grey in 2011, Donny Osmond in 2014, and Alfonso Ribeiro 2018 and 2019. I remember him as Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, of course. So that's 2 points if you got all 3 right, and 1 point for any 2 correct answers. So if you only got 1, there's no points, but we're all winners here. So that's 2 points for all 3 and 1 point for any 2 correct names.
I'll give you a bonus 50 point if you can come on and rap the whole of the theme tune to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Me? I can, you know. I know the words.
Can you? You can't.
You. Of course.
Phil, quick, dig out the music. Phil.
And on the next RTS quiz, Letugely does the rap to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Remember
so good luck to everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. That was great fun.
And you. Thank you, Darren.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
See you soon.
Bye.
Right, and there you have it. That is the RTS Nations and Regions TV quiz. If you would love to post your scores, maybe have a tot up, or if you just binned it and just thought, you know what, I'm not really doing so well, then feel free to just write some comments and let us know what you thought of the quiz. If you want to say hello to anyone, we can say hello to them. And let us know how you're doing. And what we'd like to do is say thank you so much to a few people, to our celebrity guest quizmasters. Up in Scotland, in Aberdeen, we had Chris Harvey. In Northern Ireland, Jude McCaffrey. in Yorkshire with the incredible jacket. So thank you so much to Fiona Thompson. From the Midlands in Birmingham, we had William Gallagher. And in London, Waterloo, we had Letitia Lee. So thank you so much for them for giving up their evening. And a massive shout out to Philip Barnes for putting all of this together. A lot of work behind the scenes to get it all going. So we really appreciate Phil's work. Right, we have some scores coming in. Staria Lee says, I thought I'd do well, and she's put a face as an emoticon that's basically doing this. So maybe she hasn't done that well. Staria Lee says, I've lost. And an emoticon with someone crying. But listen, it's not about winning, it's the taking part. So, you know, and winning essentially, but there you go. So Sue Murray, last round, she got 6 points, which is great. Alan Byron got 18 points. Well done, Alan. Scott Tempest Mitchell, tipping points, 24 points. Great. Sally Carter, Doc Cotton, the East End team, said, I didn't disgrace myself. I got 25 out of 50 on my Todd. Thanks, everyone. That's good. 25 out of 50 on your own. Amazing, Sally. Michael Wood. 13 points. Great quiz. Thanks for organising. You're a great host, Darren. Wonderful. So lovely, Michael. Glad you enjoyed it. And 13 is respectable. Alan Byron is just doing like a dab emoticon. Where'd you get that from? That's great. Iona Burton got 22. Respectable. Thomas Poppe got 29. Woo! Peg Alexander, 23. Great quiz, everyone. Well done. With a few. Rachel Belk got 14. Not as bad as it could have been. Well, I mean, no, you did well. 14 is pretty respectable. And thank you, Thomas. Well done. Sue Murray, I got 38 out of 50 on my own. Great host. Who's won? I'm not sure who's won. Oh, Emma's dabbing now. Emma's doing everyone's finding these dab emoticons. Pretty impressive. Well, if Sue got 38 out of 50, unless someone else wants to chime in and beat that, I think I will have to declare Sue Murray, friend, actually, hold on, friend of Williams has won. And I want to cast aspersions. But I think she might be our winner. So round of applause to Sue Murray, who got 38 out of 50. Amazing, in Belfast. Listen, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me. Phil, if you need to find me, I'm darrenaltman.com, and I'm on Twitter at Darren Altman. It's been great fun. Thank you so much. And until next year, when the questions, well, they won't get even harder, because I think that was pretty tough. But we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye from the RTS Regions and Nations quiz.